Powerful, enlightening and brilliant. These are just some of the words used to describe Peter Weisz's book titled The Universal Mind. This thought-provoking book provides educated answers and explanations to questions of who we are, what is the mind, and what is consciousness, as well as what is reality. He now joins us from our studios in Cape Town to help us unpack his debut read. A very good morning to you, and thank you so much for making time to come on the show this morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me here.
Now, talk to us about this book and just the process that it took for you to finally get your debut book out there.
It wasn't an easy process, but basically this book is the culmination of 40 years of study and research, reading various books on philosophy and spirituality and mysticism, and eventually reaching the point where I felt that I wanted to put down my own thoughts into a book of my own.
Peter, you start off by providing the 3 life rules that are guaranteed to bring happiness. Talk to us about that.
Okay, well, the 3 life rules guaranteed to bring you happiness. Number 1, keep your mouth shut. Number 2, keep your big mouth shut. And number 3, keep your stupid big mouth shut. And I think actually, you know, when you think about that a bit more carefully, it's quite a good philosophy, really, because there's too much nonsensical talk in the world. There's too many people giving too many opinions. There's too much of a judgment going on in the world. And I think we'd be best just to keep our own opinions to ourselves maybe a little bit more. And there is beauty in silence, that's for sure.
And I suppose in order to hear the universe quite clearly, you need to learn the art of being able to listen and hone in on just what is inside as opposed to what is external.
Absolutely. It's definitely better to be a listener than a talker. There's an old saying from a Chinese philosopher, Lao Tzu, and that goes, the one who speaks does not know, and the one who knows does not speak.
Peter, you speak a lot about the universal mind that you say we are all connected to. What is this universal mind, and how does it work? How do we apply it in this crazy world that we live in?
Okay, well, I think the mystical description would be the all and the everything, but what does that really mean? I think the more coherent explanation would be to say that the universal mind is a higher consciousness. It's the place where dreams and fantasies and ideas are formulated. And we are all a part of this universal mind. We are connected on a spiritual level to this universal mind, because as human beings, we are so much more than just flesh and blood and bone and sinew. There is other dimensions to us. We call them soul, we call them spirit, we call them life force. But I try to explain in the book what these things actually are and how we are actually connected to each other on this higher level of consciousness.
And how do you achieve that? How do you achieve being within the universal mind and being conscious of what happens while staying, you know, with keeping your feet on the ground with what is in touch with what really is?
Well, the question of what really is a big question, because, for example, if you look inside an atom, and an atom, as most people understand, is a tiny particle which makes up every single part of our universe, including ourselves. But if you look inside an atom, deeper and deeper, you'll find that there's actually nothing there. So if there's nothing inside an atom, and atoms make up our universe, that means our universe is made up of nothing. In fact, the only thing that exists is consciousness. And although we are stuck in the prison of this body of flesh and blood, we are pure consciousness and pure spirit. And whether we like it or not, we do connect with each other.
In the book, Peter, you also refer to what is quote-unquote normal life and how we can so quickly get accustomed to it. Explain just what you mean by that.
Well, I think normal life, I'm more referring to Western civilized society, which was the society that I grew up in, But some of the lessons of Western civilized society are rather questionable. Some of the education that our children receive is somewhat questionable. So normal life for most people is getting up, going to work, or, you know, trying to earn money to put food on your plate to feed your family, and you struggle and you strain and you sweat and you toil and you argue with each other and you judge each other and you live with worry and fear and anxiety and stress in your life. To me, that just doesn't sound right, and that's not what life should be about.
Peter, I mean, I must say this is quite a technical book that you've managed to write in an easy, laid-back, uncomplicated manner. How did you manage to explore these scientific, theological, and psychological and also philosophical hypotheses with such ease and finesse?
Well, the thing is, I've read a lot of books in my time, and I've understood very little of what I've read. And so I thought, look, it's time to write a book that people will understand, something that's uncomplicated, that's not full of mathematics, that's not full of big, long words. It's my own way of trying to put my own views across, which they're actually quite simple, really, when you break them down. I don't need to... you know, I'm not a wise man by any means. I'm not an academic and I'm not a scholar, but I've just read a lot of things that have interested me, and I've put my own thoughts down on paper in a very uncomplicated manner, because obviously I do want people to hear what I have to say.
Oh, Peter, thank you once again. We'll have to leave it then. Congratulations on your debut book. I'm pretty sure that our viewers will learn a lot from that. From our Cape Town studios in Cape Town, that was psychoanalyst and counselor Peter